Mr. Eggplant presents...
Hey guys, Tyler here, and I just wanted to make a video today doing an update video for Antorus the Burning Throne. Kind of like my thoughts on how things are going with my guild. So far we are 11 of 11 normal and 7 of 11 heroic, so we're practically done already, although I know that like Coven and a few of the ones in front of us are going to be a little bit more difficult than the previous half of the raid. But I wanted to kind of do some overview points, talk about that a little bit, talk about normal versus heroic real fast, and then have some odds and ends, things that I've learned through just doing the encounters for about 4 weeks now. That usually I like to do this the week after the first week, so second week, but kind of got busy, especially with the holidays here between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and finally getting a chance to do it now. So let's get started. So let's go ahead and talk about what I'm doing right now. I've got a small quote guide video on my channel. If you'd like to check it out, I will link it in the description below. It's basically talking about what I'm doing for like stats and that sort of thing, legendaries, which I'll touch again in this video. Stats, I like to get 23 to 25% mastery, and then try to get my haste to 13 to 15%, because once I get my 2 and 4 set for Antorus, I will lose my 4 set from here, which means you need more haste. So if you're not at either of those caps, I would suggest getting there. That's just my play style, and then dump the rest into crit. And then, as you can see, the only item I've got from raid that I've used is the trinket. It's the Pantheon trinket, the Golganeth's Vitality. Unfortunately, I haven't got anything to drop other than, let's see, out of 4 weeks of raiding, I've got a total of 4 items. Got one here. I got this helm. I've got the chest, which is worthless until I get my 2 set at least, and then I got this trinket actually this last week. So unfortunately, gear is a little bit hard to come by right now. So my damage will be, my item level is going to be the same for all of these numbers. I think maybe it's changed by like 1 or 2 at the most, just because I have a 950 trinket now instead of the 915 Sentinel Medallion. So let's get started here, and I'll try to put these numbers on the screen. I'm not entirely sure how to use my new editing software. It's kind of a trial and error, so I hope you'll bear with me. So anyway, so kind of want to do some comparisons. So like in normal, my guild clears it, very quickly. We at least kill 11 of 11 and 3 to 5 bosses on heroic the first night, and then the next night is progression. So I saw some nice increases from just learning the fights and getting to see them and figuring different things out. Like on Worldbreaker, normal was going for like 1.2 million to like on heroic even, which is harder, more things to dodge. I'm doing 1.506 million and doing a really good job on that fight on heroic and normal. Fellhounds, my damage is lower, I think because other guilds are bringing the dogs together, where my guild does not. Don't know if that's feasible, but that's just like I'm seeing some huge outliers in damage, like by 500,000 DPS. So I'm going from like 1.2 the first week, 1.2 million, to doing 1.526 million on the Fellhounds. High Command, my guild is still not sure what we're doing wrong on that fight. I take pod 2, so I'm the one who drops down the shields. I'm the first one, and then Polly, our mage, he does the second one. And like our damage, like percent wise, is really off. So either that's a junk fight that the percents are always going to be off, or we're missing the boat on there. So I'm not really sure yet. Went from like 1.322 million to 1.558 million. So still a nice increase, especially with not changing any item level at all. Portal Keeper, I stay on the main platform and just worry about ads with Glitchy, our raid lead. So I went from like 1.337 million to 1.372 million. So not a huge increase, but I've just been trying to time my true shot's a little bit better to where they'll line up like every other one, every other little ads phase. So my goal is to be able to get my stats high enough to where I can run with the boots. That way I'll should theoretically have true shot up for every other one, with it cutting off time and all that good stuff. So with the defensive ANR, went from not doing so well in that fight, like 993k, to my last one, which I just uploaded a video as of today, which is the 23rd of December. I did like 1.385 million, which is like a 98% item level and 96% for all hunters. I know it's just normal, but that's really nice that seeing some nice increase in damage there. And just as I get used to the fight, where I start at the middle platform at the beginning, I go down to the fellhounds, and then I go back up to the second platform again, and then I kill bats, and then that's basically all I do as a hunter. And heroic, because I mean it's just loot ship, it's extremely easy. Went from like 1.3 million to 1.297 million just because we're killing the boss faster. So MNR, my guild has a hard time with that fight, like people getting through the path between the two areas where we fight him. Bridge, there we go, word escaped me. But like 1.041 million the first week to 1.35 million, and that 1.35 million was with my Pride As, which I'll talk about that here in just a second, like legendary wise, where Pride As was probably not the best choice, so I feel like I can do better on that the next week. But I ended up 95% eye level, so that was really great. So Kingaroth, we're finally getting that down on heroic, and all of the bosses up until now in this list we've killed on heroic at least once. So Kingaroth, I figured out how to increase my DPS on that by whenever the Fell Reavers come out, if you attack the Fell Reaver through him, and then so like say you're mark shotting them, that for example it will hit Kingaroth and it will hit the Fell Reaver, so that's a nice increase in damage. So like on normal I was doing like 1.365 million, which is nice, but on heroic, which is a much more hectic fight, I did 1.5 or 1.455 million. So I should see a nice increase there too. So I'm really looking forward to getting my 2 and 4 set for Antorus. Coven, I won't lie, I don't know what I'm doing wrong on Coven. First week is like 1.183 million, and then I'm doing like 1.251 million. That's probably because of the nice increase in the Pantheon trinkets, because we finally have I think the 4 that we need, so once in a while we'll become empowered. But I need to work on that one. That's one of my fights that I don't necessarily like my performance in. Very Mathras, I continue to do better on that one. 1.5 million almost on the dot to 1.563. I should see another increase this next week. What I need to get in the habit of doing is disengaging every other one, because you know, if you do 2 stack points, disengage from one to the other, and then you don't have to you know, worry about going back and forth. Either that or making sure that you can strafe and be using the gloves to be doing an aim shot as you go, so there's no wasted damage and no wasted time there. Agrimar, like first week was 1.269 million, second week was 1.308 million. I'm going to do better on that fight. That's just me getting more comfortable with my positioning, and I will only do better on that fight, especially because I use the ring on that fight here, the Soul of the Huntmaster, and it's, you know, makes it really nice for a single target. And then on Argos, I do very well on Argos, believe it or not. 1.368 million was the first week, and then 1.382 million since then, and looking forward to breaking 1.5 very soon. I've got a few things I'm going to try, and then I can make another video on that if you guys would like to see that. And if you'd like to see or like to get a video on like maybe some tips I found in depth for each boss, leave me a comment below, let me know what you think, and if there was like a certain boss you wanted first. So I kind of did that in a different order than I normally would. I just kind of put normal and heroic together, because honestly there's a lot of fights in Antorus that aren't really different. Like Fellhounds is nominal, World Breaker, ooh watch out, pew pew beams. High Command is just more hectic. Portal Keeper, I really don't notice too much. There's just the ads that actually need to be killed and interrupted. ANR, that's loot ship. It's a joke. It's faster on Heroic finally since they've tuned it a little different, but nothing major. Eminar, I like that fight. I say Eminar and Kingaroth are my favorite fights in this. That's one thing I do like about Antorus is that there are some different fights that you don't normally see, and those two are probably my favorite. Kingaroth possibly being my favorite from this expansion. I'd have to really think about that, and I've kind of thought about making a video like my top 5 for the expansion, but I have a feeling that when it's all said and done, Kingaroth will be my favorite fight this expansion. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of information on Coven, Varimathras, Agrimar, and Argos on Heroic yet. Those are, to be determined, to be killed in the future, and then hopefully I'll have some nice kill videos for you guys for that. So let's kind of move away from stat or how performance-wise. And one of the big things my damage has went up is I just run with volley all the time now, because once the weapon damage reaches a certain height, which I have a really nice weapon, that's probably one reason I'm doing so well, is that it's actually better, and if you hit one other person, it's extremely better than Murder of Crows. Legendary wise, you want to get your 4 set for Antorus just because that 50% chance mark shot's really nice. There it is. I believe the 4 set used to be 15% or 30%, and then they buffed it to 50. Don't quote me on that, but pretty sure that's what I remember seeing. I always want to do it the 4 set, but the issue is I was going to do 4 set 2 set from TOS if I had some high item level like this one, but unfortunately the glove kind of gets in the way. So I want to do 4 set gloves, and then whatever high item level piece you can get to fit that's the stats that you're looking for. For example, mine, at least right now, will be this one because it's Mastery Crit, which I want, and then it's got a socket as well. And then I just run with the Soul of the Hunt Master. Legendary wise, gloves are almost a must for the way you're currently build. And I mean, you can run without the gloves, don't get me wrong. I just really like them. As much as I don't like the gloves themselves, that extra 15% every other one to crit is really, really nice. Gloves are good. Ring is good for single target. I almost always use it for single target now, assuming I can get the correct haste, especially once I drop the 4 set of TOS. The boots I'm going to start using for my AoE spec so basically if I'm AoEing, that's more focus I'm spending, which in turn lowers the cooldown of my true shot, so more true shots equals more AoE equals winning. And then Pride As is also a really nice, believe it or not, it's very nice just because of those bonus stats. They help me so much. Let's see here. In the perfect world, I would want to be wearing one of these, either the Soul of the Hunt Master or the Feather Snowshoes, and have these stats: 46, 16, 25. This is what I want. This is what I want my stats to look like once I have gear from Antorus, which unfortunately is really difficult without the Amonthul's Vision trinket, and that kind of leads me into the trinkets, which I think are kind of viable. Amonthul's Vision is by far amazing, but good luck getting it. I hope somebody in the comments has got it. Please let us know. It's got to be amazing. Arcano Crystal is really nice. Ooh, look, mission complete. Arcano Crystal is really nice. Sentinel Medallion is probably what I'm going to be using for single target. If I can get a nicer one, it would be even better, but I'm not going to sweat it. And then there is Golganeth's Vitality. I don't really like this one, to be honest. It does nice damage, and it gives you that nice agility, but I don't really like it because it doesn't help me get the stats I want. And I probably put too much emphasis into stats, but at the same time, if I were to upgrade a few of these pieces to 945, I'm going to get all that agility that I wanted plus the bonus stats. So that's just kind of me nitpicking, which I do quite often. So that was kind of all I had in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you literally just saw my character standing there looking at a dummy, because for whatever reason, whenever I record these, it renders weird on the sides when I move around. So sorry about that, as you probably just now saw. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment what you think. Maybe something you want to see in the future. I plan on, if I get some people that are interested in doing some mini guides for each boss, or like kind of like what I did with, I kind of gave you a few tidbits of what I was doing when I was doing my how much damage, my battle report, I guess. I will do that, put it all in one video, and put that out. If that's something you're interested in, leave me a comment below. And I think that's all I had, so until my next video, I'll see you later. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video and actually watching it to the end and getting this far. I do appreciate it, and if you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing. You can hit the subscribe button to the right of my character here, or if you want to see some of the other things I have on my channel, that'll be to the left. Thanks for watching, guys, and until my next video, I'll see you later.